bottom of this, the NRC is unable to provide an acceptable level of safety for the nation's nuclear power plants.
And unfortunately, the NRC let them get away with it. You don't interpret your rules for your benefit. You don't falsify documents. You don't destroy documents. You don't operate a nuclear power plant in violation of regulations and in violation of the law.
Also found out the worst failure that put people in extreme peril. The company intentionally lied during the first day of the accident. Once in the afternoon, heard this loud thud, and then everybody in that control room heard and felt.
These hydrogen gas containment. It was like if you turn your barbecue grill on the gas and you don't put the match in right away, you get a big whoop. It was not an explosion. There was no supersonic shockwave, but it was a big hydrogen burn.
It was an explosion. Hydrogen blows up. And you can see the pictures, and their phones are almost melted. The oil drums are completely collapsed. Anybody that thought they didn't have fuel damage before then, they had fuel damage after that.
Most people think about this accident is that nobody understood it the first day and they didn't know what was going on. Nothing could be further from the truth. After what the operators testified to and what the investigation showed, the control room knew about the hydrogen burn that day. And this was a severe crisis. Just minutes from hundreds of thousands of people dying, the entire area of central Pennsylvania being permanently contaminated by radiation. But the company lawyer got a number of them to change their story and said, no, we didn't think the hydrogen burn was significant that first day.
I didn't know it. I'm not going to say that there wasn't somebody who was putting two and two together at that early time. I don't know. Now, some of us back ways, when we heard later, we knew exactly what that was, but it didn't get into the analysis system to the right people in the control room to understand.
In the middle of this accident, the company insisted on downplaying it.
Safety of the plant adequate? Ask the NRC. I'm sure they would take action. I rather doubt there's nothing that does.
Early on, a lot of people testified to investigators that they understood exactly what the hydrogen explosion meant. It meant that the core was melting and could be a significant amount of radiation that is released. And nobody told the governor of Pennsylvania the danger was potentially lethal amounts of radiation the first day, while children were going to school, while people were tending to their farm. These people's lives were in peril, and nobody told them.
We don't believe that we warrant evacuation of the Middletown area.
And they should have made that call for evacuation the first day of the accident. They didn't.
Last milestone in the cleanup of the 3 Mile Island nuclear reactor.
It's the biggest step so far in the ongoing cleanup. Workers lifted the lid on the power plant's tripled nuclear reactor for the first time since the 1979 accident.
When they put the crane into operation, I had since been fired. And when they tested the crane, it worked. When you use the crane and attach it to the reactor vessel head, it failed.
The crane had frozen at different points. This was after numerous repairs, and if they'd done this a year ago, who knows what kind of disasters we could have had. And it was probably the biggest cosmic sigh of relief in my life.
That's why you don't take shortcuts in the nuclear industry. After that, Bob Arnold resigned because of questionable integrity of management. The head NRC agent on site, Nate Barrett, also resigned.
Well, I didn't resign. Not true. I mean, I resigned. I'd asked for it, yeah. And that was part so my son could go to high school in Maryland and not change high school in the middle. So my leaving had nothing to do with these events in Polar Crane that I'm aware of.
On whether to restart the undamaged reactor at 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania.
GPU insists that 3 Mile Island's Reactor 1, which was not damaged in the accident, is perfectly safe to restart, with parts and operators specially trained.
Even after the indictment of the company coming to light, the NRC and the company were doing everything they could out of fear that this accident had killed the industry, and they were determined to restart Unit 1 to show they could come back.
The state of Pennsylvania and the people who live nearby are dead set against it.
Know that they lied, know the danger. And we made a decision that we would do everything we could to keep it closed. It's because I love my home, I love my kids, that I'm doing this. My mom, dad, we have kids, grandkids. We're not statistics, we're people. There had never been a commercial nuclear disaster in this country. We were the first, and we should have been guaranteed that that company would not start up again.
TMI's operators displayed $100 million worth of improvements that they say make the plant ready for restart, while TMI opponents say their opposition is strong as ever.
That plant can literally hold your life in its hand. I'm going down with the fight. I believe that it had the worst commercial nuclear accident in the history of power. They cannot make to the show.
Came out over the years, it only added to the credibility gap that still haunts the nuclear power industry. This is one of those moments in history, turning point. The restart of 3 Mile Island is really a symbol for the survival of nuclear power in America. So there's a fierce battle over the restart of 3 Mile Island, and GPU pulled out all the stops. They bring Admiral Rickover, the father of the nuclear navy, to 3 Mile Island. He had immense influence on several of the NRC commissioners, on the industry in general, and gives 3 Mile Island its blessing that it's safe to restart.
I would live right, fix me up a place right in this building. I'd be glad to live here.
Well, we actually never thought that the plant would restart based on the preponderance of evidence that these people didn't have the resources, the character, and the integrity to safely operate a plant. You're not going to let a felon operate a nuclear power plant.
User management false, which existed. So, was it favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
I think we've completed the business that we came for. The accident was traumatized for the local people, right? So no question about that. So did people feel emotional about Unit 1 starting? Absolutely.
Protest demonstrations began at 3 Mile Island within hours of the May 29th restart decision.
But there was a very exhaustive, multi-year, very, very expensive process to ensure that that plant would be safe when it was restarted.
I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't believe it. After the company has been indicted for cheating, for lying, falsifying roof rates, but it's okay. They can still operate the plant. To say to the whole community, you
endorsement of 3 Mile Island is really undermined by the fact that really was no what to do. Department of Health rushing to exonerate the company. Mine would inclusively deduce immediately after negative impacts for being exposed. That's not how there's a latency. So throughout, is this thing children.
Right, the eldest daughter had a fibrous tumor, it was over 10 pounds.
The issue of cancer in the community is a very personal one for me. I've had cancer myself, and my granddaughter at 18 had non-Hodgkin.
Looked at the radiation level in the duration of the week was down for Honolulu. They found 2 to 3 times higher incidence of cancer in the area where the radiation was compared to the surrounding hills where the radiation was. Sure. But it's garbage. Years ago, here, around my arm, around my wrist. Responsive to the radiation exposure she received while she was a little girl. 100% convinced cancer as a result of the radiation exposure from 3 Mile Island. It is. I have no salivary glands and no. That. Probably due to my nuclear background, but I was only that prevent you from staying with services. That's why the NRC gets away with everything. Released in a normal. Too many people that experience too many symptoms that have convinced me that fatigue exposures could have easily been at a point where there's
But Faith, you slept with Claire, Belly's partner. You tried it on with her. And that's a fact.
Story.
after he found out that I had cancer, he reached out to me. As you know yourself.
No. Yeah. It's horrible. Anybody ever ask you or your mom about what happened to me? After all my public, I'm here one day, then I'm gone.
I never really talked about it a lot. It's actually she was afraid.
She was very sick. I've only had my heart broken twice in my life. Once was with the boy's mom, was with your mom. Broken in three. Taking me out to go public at last. But she knew that I knew I was going to pay a price. So, it's joy in your life. Certainly, you screwed it up 7 weeks and some years that didn't enjoy it. And if your mom and I could have figured out a way, I could have walked out of that. I would have done it. But there was no way that I could come up. You're brave. You're very special to me. What you're doing and what you're still doing after all these years is the right thing to do. Sorry, it's destroyed your life. I don't think that there should be collateral damage for someone trying to do the right thing for the right reasons.